Hey everyone, welcome to PunkCast. My name is William Maxwell. I'm a student of Web3 and the owner of Punk2527. CryptoPunks are 10,000 uniquely generated characters stored permanently on the Ethereum blockchain. No punk is the same. This is a show dedicated to celebrating the punks behind the punk. My hope for this podcast is that we capture the essence of the punk culture, elevate the brand and the individual behind the punk. One last thing. Projects discussed on the show is not financial advice. Crypto and NFTs are a volatile and risky asset class. Please always do your own research. Other than that, let's go. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of PunkCast. Today we're back with Punk2560. He's a rare zombie punk with 4 attributes: front beard, earring, headband, and VR. In real life, he's an avid NFT art collector with a collection to envy with the artists such as Xcopy, Justin Avasano, and Sarah Zuka. Please welcome none other Dan Polko to the show. Dan, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for the invitation, Will. Doing great, thanks.
Amazing. Appreciate you coming on. I've been wanting to have this conversation for quite some time. I think you're a rare zombie punk and always a really big, strong advocate for punks on the Twitter feed there.
Yeah, I love your show, I really wanted to do the show with you, so really happy for that you invited me, that got invited to the show. Thanks again.
It's an honor, so appreciate it. So Dan, why don't you kick us off? Can you tell us a little bit about your background, where you sort of grew up and, what you sort of studied and everything sort of leading before crypto?
Yeah, sure. I'm from Paris, France, and I used to work in computers. And I discovered Bitcoin in 2014, and then I discovered Ethereum in 2015, and I kind of fell in love with crypto, because it was like an alternative to fiat currencies, that was like giving back power to the small people, so small guys like me. So I thought it was interesting. So I started investing in Bitcoin, as an experiment. Never thinking that the prices would reach such a high level. And so I was just following the things, just buying Bitcoin just as a as an experiment. Unfortunately, I saw a lot of my Bitcoins, buying other other crypto, like at that, if you check the market cap, at the time, there were all the cryptos, there were the top 10, they all disappeared. So, kind of experimented and lost quite a bit of money. If I've just kept with my Bitcoins, I'd be, I had a mention, in San Bart or, in Miami,
Yeah, exactly. Sounds like my bags at the moment, but before crypto though, Dan, you said you studied computers. What were you studying specifically?
No, I was studying coding and just more like logistics,
For supply chain
Yeah,
application?
for supply chain, yeah. And then I decided to change, my life, and I decided to leave France, and travel. And I ended up in South America, just traveling around, and decided to change my life, and actually, just living out of savings I had. From my from my previous jobs, and living on living on crypto, and kind of like like, almost like a backpacker, just going country from countries, and
Basically living the dream.
yeah, that was it. I didn't feel I wanted to be out of the system, I mean, I didn't feel in my place, in the job I was doing. And I love Paris, I love my city, I have my family there and lots of friends, but I needed something else, so I just went and traveling, and I was into Bitcoin, but then I kind of discovered Ethereum, and this that was like a revelation for me, because Bitcoin is like an alternative currency. But if you think of Ethereum, it's a protocol for decentralized application and smart contracts.
In terms of your coding career, like, or your studies, like, of all the things you could have chosen, why did you decide to go into, computer programming?
No, I was, I was just trying to make a living. The job market is quite not that easy in France or any elsewhere in the world. So I was always big, I was being a big fan of computers. I mean, always, spend my all my youth, playing video games. Especially all those, those pixel art video game from the 80s, and
Yeah. What kind of games were you playing?
I was into, the all the classic, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, and then later on, Tekken and Mortal Kombat, for the game from the beginning of the 90s. So I was
On
always,
Nintendo and
fascinated, and always liked this, this pixel art, kind of strike the chord, because of my youth, playing with friends on Saturday night, and also that's why I was so drawn to CryptoPunk, for the aesthetic of it.
absolutely. I think a lot of people collect punks, for the nostalgia as well. It just reminds us a lot of, us growing up, and I think a lot of the
Yeah,
punks are probably our age and our vintage,
yeah.
that
You,
can
you
sort of
you too.
appreciate
You
that
must
sentiment.
have played with those, with those video games also. They're like classic.
Yeah, absolutely. Mario Kart and, Street
Yeah,
Fighter and
Mario
all
Kart.
those ones.
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. And so you were studying, computers, you ended up working in supply chain for a little bit. And then you packed up your bags to just go traveling to South America. Like, what was
yeah,
it?
yeah. I went
What
to
was
Spain first. I went to Spain, because I had a friend over there in Madrid. And so I have family in the French Basque country, so I had like a connection with Spain, and I spent like 5 years in Spain, Madrid, and then I went all over Spain, and
so what were you
and
doing? What were you doing there for 5 years?
I did everything, because the job market in Spain is quite hard. Actually, I really had a hard time, because I had to share apartment with other students. That was not easy. It was a big apartment, and I had to share I had to share a flat with like 10 people. So we had to
No
share
way.
share bathrooms, share a kitchen. It was like. Not a nomadic life, but it was like really more like yeah, like a life experience. I mean, I lived in with that not that much money, so I didn't want to bother my friends or family, for money. So I had to just to I wouldn't say survive, because that would be extreme, but yeah, I had enough to pay my bills, but I had a good time. I made friends, and a lot of parties also. I mean, going to eat at 10 o'clock at night, and then have a few drinks, in bars in Plaza Santa Ana, in the center, in the historic center of the city. So that was pretty good memories.
Yeah, absolutely. So my brother-in-law is Spanish, and
Oh,
so I spent
amazing.
a bit of time in Spain, a few years back. But
What city were you in?
he's from Gandia. It's close to Valencia.
Oh, yeah, 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 the Costa Brava. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I heard of it. Yeah, I've never been, but I heard of it. Yeah.
and it was kind of weird because, like, the sun sets at like 9 p.m. People having dinner at 10 p.m.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was so surprised, because in France we eat at 8 o'clock, and it's like nobody nobody eats at 10. So over there
Yeah, exactly.
they start eating at 10, and sometimes on weekends they even you go eat at 12 o'clock. So that's quite strange.
Yeah, it's crazy.
For us,
And parties didn't start until like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, and then we'd
yeah, I
get
know you
home
you,
and
you you used to go
and the
to
morning
a,
days.
to a
So
club, and there was no one until 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was really really weird.
it was really weird. I do remember that. But yeah, Spain must have been such a wonderful experience as well.
Yeah, yeah. When I
Um,
traveled around Spain, and it was like a life experience. I really liked it. I felt. I mean, Paris is like it's amazing city. A lot of people say it's the most beautiful city in the world, and I was even lucky to live in the in a great neighborhood in Paris. And but and I need something else. I need something else. And so from Spain, I went to South America, and went to Argentina, Uruguay, Bolivia, Paraguay, Chile. So just traveling around and living on my savings and on crypto. And I thought the life I was the life I wanted. No strings attached, and no kind of out of the system, because the system kind of crush you, because there's so much competition, and you have to be the best in everything. And the job market, and those first world countries, I mean, the competition is ruthless. Can destroy someone. So I need something else.
Absolutely. Well, that's nice that you had the courage to pick up and go. I think, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I think I just got sucked into the rat race, just like everybody else. Like you had to go through life a certain way.
Yeah, exactly. But I wasn't fit for it. So depend on people. Some people are great at it. I mean, they succeed in all they do. And other people, at other scale, who can't do it, and you have to respect it.
But I think it was nice in the sense that you were able to, think freely, because like in some ways it got you into cryptocurrency, and that really requires freedom of thought in some ways. And obviously early enough to experiment with CryptoPunks, and obviously a zombie punk is super rare. And so I think, that must have been quite nice to be able to be free, right?
I always try to to think out of the box. Think out of the box, and be individualistic. Just thinking for myself, and not just following people, and I mean sets of ideas that are like pre-formatted in your culture, or in your country, or in society, or even on television. That I always try to think for myself, and try to go my own path. I don't know where it's gonna lead me. I mean, it could be good, could be bad, but it's a life experience.
Sounds pretty punkish and rebellious.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean,
uh,
when I started, when I started buying crypto, I mean, it was, wasn't well received by people. It was a scam. It was, all illegal stuff and all. But I studied Bitcoin. I played Bitcoin being, a decentralized protocol. Being an alternative to fiat currencies. I mean, giving back power to the people, instead of central banks, printing money. And the same thing with Ethereum, and especially with CryptoPunk, when the URC standard came out, it was like, because Bitcoin is a fungible token, but the URC standard made the token non-fungible, and it created all this NFT industry. And so that was like, yeah, yeah. When I step upon CryptoPunk, project, I thought that was something really, really interesting about it.
yeah. So why don't you talk about that? Like, how did you discover CryptoPunks, and when was that?
Yeah, I discovered CryptoPunk because I was, as you said, I was checking all the new dApps that were coming out on Ethereum. So there was Ethereum, and then there were there were other MakerDAO also. There were like financial dApps. So I was just checking around all the things that were being released. And when I step up on reading because I was in and out of crypto. I was doing my own things also. So I wasn't like all the time, on my computer, or I was doing other stuff also. So I don't know. I think it was, yeah, in June I came upon the June 2017. I came upon the Mashable article, and it kind of, what is this project, because at first I really got attracted by the pixel, the pixel art, because thinking of my youth, with the video games, so pixel art always it was already a hit, around the world, because I mean, it's been, when we think of pixel art, we think of the 80s, the 90s.
What year was this when you discovered CryptoPunks?
Yeah, it was the month that they were released, because it was the Mashable article. I think the Mashable article came on the 20th of June, So, and then I really love the aesthetic of them. The all the I mean the female, the male, the alien, the zombie, the apes. I really love the aesthetic. Being very like being like misfits, and very with a very strong individualistic persona, and also there was a thing when I was actually in my flat in Paris, in my small flat in Paris. I had called lithography in French. I don't know the name in English, of Andy Warhol, the Marilyn. Actually, had a big lithography of the Marilyn of Andy Warhol. That was a present from my my parents, to decorate my small flat. And so for years I had this image, So when I saw CryptoPunk and I read the Mashable article, it kind of connected the dots. I say, wow, this could be, the Andy Warhols of the 21st century, So I said,
Wow, that
okay,
so
this is a new paradigm, This is a new paradigm, because we're going from from physical art to digital, That's like a quantum leap,
did you collect art before crypto?
Not really. A bit. I was into street art. I like street art a lot, because kind of the art of my generation. So I always thought I always like to draw a parallel between digital art and street art, because when you think of, it's kind of started at the beginning of the 70s, but it wasn't well received at all. All the people were against it. A lot of people were against it. And then, because you remember all those guys, seeing all those famous, those legend of street art from New York, who used to do bubble street art, on all on the subway in New York. And there was like a big fight between the mayor of New York and the city of New York, and those street art artists, because they were like spoiling, they were doing graft all over the city and the subway, and they were like destroying all the public property, so at the end of the 70s, street art wasn't well received. But then came Jean-Michel Basquiat, Kate Haring, and now the paintings sell for millions and millions at Sotheby's and Christie's. And even in France, it's in Invader, the French
Mm,
artist Invader, to
yeah. Yeah,
his
Invader was
career
here, yeah.
took like, yeah, go ahead.
Mm. Yeah, no, I know him, yep. He's,
Yeah,
got
in
a few
Invader,
punks around Paris.
yeah, yeah, his career took like 15 years to take off, now same thing, his art sells for fortune in auction house,
So did you claim punks? Or, well, after you read the Mashable article, like, what did you do, like, afterwards?
No, no. Strangely, no, no. Unfortunately, I didn't claim them. Because I was, as I said, I was in and out of crypto, and at the time there wasn't much going on. So it was more like a hobby. On the Sundays, when I was bored, and so no, I studied CryptoPunk for quite a few months. Especially the ERC standard. And the ERC standard give a uniqueness to a digital file, to a digital token, and it gave a proof of ownership, of a digital asset. So I thought that was like a new paradigm.
Yeah.
I thought that
What
was
what what
something really revolutionary, So I studied the thing for a few months because I knew I said, this is the future. This is the future, and I have to get it. I have to get in early. I said, this is the future of art, or at least it's gonna be a big part of art. In the coming decades, and I have to be early. Said to myself, I want to be like those art merchants who bought modern art, and at the beginning of the 20th century, in the 20s or 30s, or buying impressionist art, also, before the 40s and 50s, and all those big collectors became like legends. So I said it was same thing with people who bought, Andy Warhols at the factories in the 60s, or, who bought Jean-Michel Basquiat's painting when he used to do his first gallery shows in New York, at the beginning of the 80s. So I said, uh, this CryptoPunk is like I mean, the beginning of something huge, because they were also generative art, they were algorithmically generated on a smart contract. So it strikes so many things, the generative art, digital art. I mean, the first CryptoPunk, the invented the ERC standard, giving
Yeah.
a
They
uniqueness
were
to a digital asset.
they were first of many things for NFT in
They were
NFTs
the
in
first one,
space.
and they were
And
the beginning of everything. When you think about it,
yeah.
the first 10,000 PFP collection.
So
First
then
generative
when
art on the blockchain.
so then like I'm looking at your wallet now, and you currently own 58 punks, which is crazy. Um, talk to me about your buying of these punks. Like, did you just after a couple of months of reading the Mashable article and understanding that these were special, similar to the Warhols, and this could be your moment. Um, like, did you go and sweep all at once, or were you accumulating over a phase of time? Like, how were you thinking about it, and how were you thinking about which punks to buy?
I studied CryptoPunk, in and out for like 6 months, and then on January 2018, I started buying them. So I used to, yeah. There was at the time they were just a few $100. They were $100, $200. So I just bought the floor. I bought the floor. I used to buy like 10 of them every day. But at the time, no, nobody cared about them, and nobody knew about them. So you could have the great CryptoPunk with a great aesthetic, or even with great attribute, for $200. So
Crazy.
I got three hoodie CryptoPunk that are amazing, and I bought them almost at the floor. So
I'm looking at some of the prices on the hoodies. It was like, so one of them with the mutton chops and the hoodie you bought on the 7th of May for $90, or 0.12 ETH,
yeah.
which is crazy. So you've got 3 hoodies, one with a gold chain and a cigarette. That one you bought for $57, um, in 2018. That is crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
I said I have to be early. I said this is the future. I have to be early. I said if I want to make money, if I want to if want to if I want to become a famous digital art collector, I have to be early, because the people who make money in everything is the people that are early. The people who make money when they bought Bitcoin, for a few dollars, or Ethereum, for $1, or and so I said I have to be early with CryptoPunk, because I love art. I love going to museums. So I said, if I want to buy the Modigliani or the Picasso of the 21st century, so I have to be early. And so yeah, I said that the hoodies are really cool. At the time, I didn't know that all of Twitter, all of Web3 would use a CryptoPunk as a PFP, So okay, I bought those, those three hoodie for for nothing almost, because I thought they were really cool.
Were the hoodies on the floor?
Yeah, floor close to the floor, because as I say, at the time
Crazy.
there were no buyers. When I bought 100 CryptoPunk, in 3 months. I think from January 2018 till end of, I think, May of 2018, maybe, yeah, 3-4 months. At the time, that there were no buyers. There was maybe 3-4 buyers in the entire planet. I mean, nobody cares, and nobody was interested. Even the Discord. I was on the Discord, and there was almost no one. I mean, everybody knew that CryptoPunk can one day become very valuable and be, historically important. I mean, because it was a technological breakthrough. It was the first of something, the first art project, I mean, they invented the ERC standard, it was the first of plenty things. So we knew that one day it could have a lot of value, but it was just a pipe dream, just a dream, but just a few dreamers on Discord, thinking that one day this could have a lot of value, and so I
So,
bought.
so just with that, Dan, like, do you remember who was in the Discord with you back then in 2018, nerding out
Yeah, the only one I
on
really
punks?
remember, because he's a star, it's Snowfro. Snowfro was there, and he was, he always, ahead of his time, because he was always saying that, that those CryptoPunk, that one day, they'll be like art of the 21st century. They'll be one day they'll be big, but we had a time lap of maybe 15, 20 years, but actually the rest of the people I don't remember, because a lot of people left. I remember there was this
Yeah.
guy. I think it was this guy that he was traveling in Asia. He was in India, and he was like, yeah, like a backpacker, I think, and he used to sell his CryptoPunks just to finance his trip, in Asia. Yeah, he was going all over India, and used to just, sell CryptoPunks, for a few $100, just to finance his trip, his vacation. I don't know what he was doing, and this guy just simply disappeared. So there were a lot of people at the time at the Discord, and they just disappeared. So it's weird.
Yeah, crazy. Um, what an amazing collection you have. And then you've got the one zombie punk that you currently have as your primary punk and that you use as your profile picture. Um, then this one for that time felt like you paid more. So this was like $987 at the time compared to, all the other ones that you bought for around $100.
Sure.
What made you buy like a zombie punk back then?
Yeah, I'm just gonna just forward back. Yeah, I was buying floor CryptoPunk, because they were amazing. They all had an amazing aesthetic, and you could get them at the floor. Actually, I bought a lot of female CryptoPunk because of the Andy Warhol Marilyn painting. I mean, lithography I did in my flat in Paris. So I always had this image of the Andy Warhol Marilyn. So I bought a lot of female, actually. And then I said to myself, I really need a special one, because I knew there was the 9 aliens, 24 apes, and 88 zombie CryptoPunks. So I know those were special, And I say, you can't buy 100 CryptoPunk without having one special one that's gonna strike a chord with you.
Mm.
And just for their rarity. So aliens, at the time they were really hard to get. I mean, yeah, nobody cared about CryptoPunk, but so I was looking for aliens, but no, it was impossible to get. I wasn't a big fan of the apes, but I love the aesthetic of the zombie, because I'm a big movie fan. So I love all those movies. With I remember, the when I was a kid, I watched George Romeo Zombie, and all those movies. Then there was 28 days later by Danny Boyle and all those movies, so always been a big fan of movies, and my favorite movie is The Matrix. I'm a huge fan of Keanu Reeves, and that
Yeah.
was like my
Classic.
my movie. I could see this movie, saw it, maybe I don't know so many times I saw it with The Matrix, and so I always love this, this parallel universe and the metaverse. So I said the zombie for the for the movie culture, and the VR for the Matrix, for the Tron movie also, and all this cyber punk culture, So I said the zombie. I think the zombie is the coolest of the rare one. It's the coolest one. And imagine a zombie with a VR. That's the best, and it was the only one in the collection. So I said I have to go for it. I mean, it sounds crazy because I have to pay much more. I have to pay much more. I think it was $800. So I said to myself, "Wow, that's crazy, man! I mean, $800 when you're buying CryptoPunks for $1,500." And I had to do it. I had to believe. I knew that one day. I don't. I didn't think of PFP, but I said maybe one day, this CryptoPunk, is gonna like a friend of mine, he's gonna follow me, for a long time, and I need to have I needed to have a special one, And when in 2020, when people started to change their PFP to CryptoPunks, because it was Web3, I mean, the crypto art scene was like, really like a niche. It was like a niche thing on Twitter, But then we started to put avatar CryptoPunks, and it was like the community started forming, Like we saw the CryptoPunk avatar, so okay, he's from the same family, he's from the same gang, he's part of the same community. So this is how we started connecting with each other. This is how I started connecting with people, because I saw the CryptoPunk PFP, so I started following those people, and this is how this community kind of formed, And then that was the big bull market from 2021, and prices went crazy, and then everybody wanted a CryptoPunk, fund managers. I mean, famous people. I mean, think of Serena Williams, and famous basketball players, and raps. Famous musician like yeah, Snoop Dogg and Jay-Z. So it was crazy. All those multi-billionaire that also wanted to be part of the join the party. So it was crazy. And it went so fast. When everything went so fast, it was like a niche thing. Like a very just a few hundreds. Just a few hundred collectors of digital art, and really pushing boundaries, and pushing blockchain culture, because there was something for it, was something really new and revolutionary, and something positive to give to the world, trying to push, just to fight against, conservative ideas. And this is what CryptoPunk is for me, really. This is what I feel. It feels like it's fighting against conservative idea, and going towards progress.
Yeah. That's so cool. I didn't realize you were the only VR zombie in the collection. That must be really cool to be. Um, did you did you spend much time looking at different traits or zombies, or was this I guess a floor zombie at the time when you spent $900 on a zombie?
Yeah, so yeah. I said, okay, Alien. There are 9 of them, but they're really hard to buy, or the price was too expensive for me. Apes, I never was a big fan. So for me, it was zombie and zombie. There was no second choice. I have to get a zombie. So I thought they were really all cool, but zombie with a VR, I said that's the best of all. That's especially when you think of a of internet culture, if digital culture, we spend so much time on on iPhone, on iPad, at digital life. It's so it's like just took such a big part of our life, and then when you think of the future, with the VR, and and as I say, as a big movie fan, I was thinking of Tron, of the Matrix. I said it has to be VR. So actually, no, it wasn't on sale. It wasn't on sale. I contacted the owner on Discord, and I said, are you interested in selling it? Because I love this CryptoPunk. I think that's the one for me. And so he came up with a price. He said, at the time there was no market. It was like just a few crazy people, just a few fans of the project. So for him, getting $800, it was a good deal because he had claimed them for free. So and so he said $800. So I think sounds crazy today, but I think I waited 24 hours to reply. And the next day I say, yeah, man, I'm in. Sell it to me, man. And that was that was the beginning of my
Did
of my
you
of my history with my PFP.
and what was it like heading back into the Discord with a fresh zombie punk?
No, actually, I didn't tell anyone because at the time in the Discord there was nothing much going on. There was nothing much going on. Sometimes there were no no one no interaction for days, or for sometimes for 2 3 days there were no interaction. Because it was like a very close circle. The same people. Just a few people, and okay, we to talk about what we knew that one day CryptoPunk could be that being a new paradigm, a new technological breakthrough. The life of the people being so always more and more digital. So we knew one day could be something. It could revolutionize art. But at the time, it was something that was. It was always the same conversation going on. So I was on the Discord maybe for 4 5 months. During at the time when I was buying those crypto packs, to have like feedbacks and all. And then I closed my account. Actually, I closed my account, and I closed my account because I said, okay, now the thing is that I bought 100. Okay, I fell in love with the project. So I was buying 10 every day. I don't know, not 10 every day, but in the span of 4 months, I bought 100. So when I reach 100, I say, okay, I have 1% of the stock. So now I'm okay. If one day those crypto punks, they sell like a Picasso, I don't know, in 50 years, then I'll be good. You sell one, and then you're good for life. So actually, I was accumulating them without showing off. I bought the zombie, and I didn't use it as my I didn't tell anyone. I didn't use it as my PFP until I think May of June of 2020. When uh, when uh, when people started putting the PFP on Twitter, or the CryptoPunk PFP on Twitter, because what happened is the pandemic came, and so I was stuck at home. I was stuck at home, and I kind of I'd kind of forgotten about CryptoPunks. I had 100 of them, but for I think for 2 years, no joke, I didn't even check the price, nothing. I knew I had 100 of them, and I said, if one day if one day they sell as much as a Picasso, I'm gonna keep them until they sell for a high price. And even if they don't even if they don't sell for a high price, I just love the aesthetic, and I love the project, and I love the idea, the idea behind the project. So I just want to keep them. So I use them. I use my zombie CryptoPunk as a PFP. In May or June of 2020.
Yeah, super cool. And it sounds pretty purist of you too, that you're gonna keep them anyway, just because you love the aesthetic and you collect stuff that you enjoy collecting, right? Which is nice. Um, and then just switching gears a little bit in terms of punks. Do you have like a favorite trait or a favorite punk? If you know money wasn't an issue, like, or what would be your dream punk? Do you think?
Without being pretentious, my dream punk is my CryptoPunk Zombie VR, because I love the VR state because it's very Web3 and very, it's very cyberpunk. I love the zombies. My dream CryptoPunk would be an alien, of course, because there are like 9 of them. But I want to tell you a story, because actually, when I was buying those 100 CryptoPunk, there was a beautiful blonde female CryptoPunk that was number 0. That was number
Wow.
0, and so I remember I saw it on sale in the morning, but I had a busy day, and it was on sale. It was on sale, I think, for $3,000. But I think I said that's CryptoPunk Zero. That's a beautiful blonde, and I was always thinking about the Marilyn from Andy Warhol. So
Yeah.
I was really interested in buying it, because wow, that's really something special. Number 0 and with amazing aesthetic. That's a museum piece, and I say that's a CryptoPunk that should be at the MoMA,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I left my house at 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, because I was at the time I was really into CryptoPunks. I was checking, I was checking the website, every morning before going out. So I went out, and I think I came back around 5-6, 5-6. So, and when I came back, it was sold, was sold. So I go, oh, I said, oh my god, I missed such a big opportunity, because I said, wow, that's CryptoPunk Zero, it's never gonna be again on sale, and that was like my big one of my big regrets, in digital art, and in buying CryptoPunks till today, because I said that CryptoPunk was really special. That was like a museum art piece, and the thing that make me sad is that the one who bought this CryptoPunk, uh, he only bought one, and now the wallet is inactive for since 2018. So this CryptoPunk that's really amazing might be lost forever. So that's my biggest regret in collecting digital art.
Amazing. I hadn't recognized CryptoPunk Zero is basically the first of the collection. It's kind of a little bit weird why they numbered um, the very first
Yeah, yeah,
CryptoPunk
yeah.
as
They start
Zero.
with 0, and it's a punk with a great aesthetic, and yeah, I think it's a really special CryptoPunk.
Yeah, she
When I saw
is.
it on sale, I said, okay, it's $3,000. That's a lot of money, but that's a really special CryptoPunk. I'm
Yeah, so
not
she's
saying that I
blocked.
would have bought it. I don't know. Maybe when I was back home, I would have thought about it one more day. But to think that this CryptoPunk could be mine, it would be like one of the grail pieces of my collection. And I mean, and knowing that it's maybe gone forever, it's sad.
Yeah, well, this one got sold for 1.6 ETH, which was $380 on the 7th of July, 2017. Um,
But then
and
it got
numbers,
resold, no?
no, actually, you're right. Yes, it got resold for 25 ETH on the 30th November 2018. Yes, you've got a very, very good memory. Um, but just for the listeners out there, so she's got green eyeshadow, earring, hidden earring, mind you, and she's got the blonde bob. So I think this one is super special in many ways. One, she's a dev punk. Two, she's number 0, the very first Genesis punk in some ways. And three, she's got a hidden earring as well. So
It's a really an amazing CryptoPunk, and I really really hope that some people do research on it, and And I really hope that the buyers didn't lost his seed phrase or his wallet, and this I really hope that this CryptoPunk comes back on the market, because it's an astonishing piece, art piece.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so fascinating. This is what I love about doing these punk casts because I guess all the punks always come in and educate me a little bit more about the collection, these subtle nuances as well, which makes things so cool just to uncover.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I've been thinking about this CryptoPunk for years, for years, because as I said, I left my house at 10 o'clock in the morning. I saw it, came back at 3, and it was gone. So it was like miss miss opportunity, and then now the at least, if the wallet was still active, and a big collector, or a celebrity, or even a art fan of what I've bought it, I'll be happy. At least it's still there. It's still there for someone to enjoy. But now that you can only enjoy it, on the website, but nobody can own it. It's me gone forever.
yeah, crazy, super
Yeah, no,
fascinating.
it's weird
Um,
skill. It's I always think of that CryptoPunk, number zero. So it was so special.
so Dan, could we argue that she might actually be your dream punk then? I know
She
you
is,
love
yeah, she
your
is, she is, she is. Because I was so close from buying it, so so close, and that would be my, be my biggest regret, collecting digital art, because that was like
yeah.
that was like a connection between me and her, and the story being, I mean, just bad luck, bad luck, and I could have just, said, okay, let me just take 10 more minutes and buy it right now, and or it could have been available, at 3 p.m. in the afternoon when I came back home, but no, it was gone, and now it's gone forever. So yeah, I have like a special connection to this CryptoPunk.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then if you had to look across, I guess, the punk community, do you have like a favorite punk personality that you like?
Well, I love Matt Hall and John Wilkinson, because I mean they started they started they started this revolution, this crypto art revolution. I mean they're the one. Without them, there wouldn't be any crypto art movement. I mean they created the ERC standard, and they created the first generative art project on the blockchain, and they created the first PFP collection, and I mean they create the smart contract, and I mean in so many ways, without them and without their project, there won't be any Xcopy or People or Obi Barat and Artblock and Snowfro. I mean, Snowfro is an amazing guy. I mean, he's also, I mean, he's a huge figure of the community. So yeah, but I think for me it's Matt All and John Walkins. So even though they was software programmers and not artists, but created an art project that revolutionized art.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you think of, I mean, inside of modern art, you have a lot of subcategory. I mean, you have pop art, you have street art, and I mean now you have you call it crypto art, and I mean, and they're part of that history. I think without them, I don't think that any of this movement would even exist. Without CryptoPunk and what they invented.
Yeah. Okay. Good selection. I mean, they're absolute heroes in the space, for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
And
like
John.
for me, like heroes.
And if you had to describe punk culture, how would you describe that for you?
Uh, you know, uh, Pushing boundaries, progress, and progressive ideas, and looking to the future and not the past. Uh, Stepping out of conservative ideas, and yeah, and the CryptoPunk, the CryptoPunk project is really inspired by the punk London scene from the 70s, and I relate to this. I mean, to being anti-establishment, to think for yourself, and just not taking. I mean, you have to follow authority, but just reject authoritarian ideas, and uh, you know, uh, and be open to progress, and also being open-minded, and inclusive, and open to the world, and um, through technology, and through a new technology, try to improve society.
Yeah, well said. And Dan, I know you were part of the Punks documentary. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Like, what was your sort of involvement with that, and when does that sort of come out?
Yeah. I was in Paris, and I met the director and the production company. So they were still in pre-production, So they were looking for punk holders, and to tell their story, and to kind of, because they want to celebrate CryptoPunk culture, and they wanted to documentate this nascent digital art movement. So I thought it was a pretty cool idea, because it's like doing a documentary, at the factory with Andy Warhol, at the beginning of the 60s, or a street art documentary, at the beginning of the 80s, meeting with Ket Haring and Jean-Michel Basquiat. So I thought that was a really cool idea. And yeah, they were looking for being a French production, and it's produced by a French TV channel. They were looking for a French-speaking CryptoPunk holder. So I mean, in France, so obviously, owning 100 CryptoPunk, I thought my story would be interesting. So yeah. So I participated in the documentary. We filmed in South America, because I thought it was a cool idea to film in South America. And yeah, I also helped, as an advisor, because the director didn't have that much information. So me and other people, we served as advisors. And I also, at my small level, I also tried to connect them to other people from the CryptoPunk community. And luckily, went great, because I mean, Martin Hall, Snowfro, and all the biggest name in the crypto art movement, participated in the documentary. And we're also very lucky to find Token Angel, who is a big digital art collector, who produced the documentary. So everything went amazing, and actually the documentary is really, 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 really good. The only thing is the subject. The subject being, digital art is like this. It's like, as I said, it's like doing a documentary on street art. At the in the mid 70s. There's there's a lot of not a rejection, but a lot of apprehension. A lot of, so we see what happened with the documentary. It's gonna be on aired on French television mid June. And I know the team is trying to sell it to other to maybe a streaming platform. So hopefully it'll work well. But yeah, we really, it was like a passion project for me and for a lot of people, because the producer put his own money. I mean, Token Angel also put a lot of money, and I mean, it was a lot of hard work. I mean, the director has spent a full year, working on it. So I really hope I hope the CryptoPunk community and the digital art community see all the effort that was put in this documentary to try to promote digital art to mainstream audience. So if it's on streaming, I hope that at least people, I mean, the people see it, and because it was really something we did for the community and for all the people involved in crypto art. So it was like an indie project. An indie project. There wasn't a big budget production. We didn't have big backups, but the result is really great because it's a big director, and he had done Daft Punk and Chain, big documentary on the French electro music group, Daft Punk. So the guy, spent a full year, working on this documentary, and I think it's really great, and maybe you won't have. I don't know if you'll have the success it deserves when it's out, because it's kind of groundbreaking in the sense that it's something digital art is something really really new, But I think in a few years it's gonna be a documentary that people talk about, and I really hope that at least people from the community, at least people see it, as a respect, as of respect for all the hard work that was done on this project.
Yeah, amazing. I can't wait to sort of see it, and what a sort of a amazing accomplishment as well. I mean, a big fan of Token Angels, and I guess his purest approach to collecting too. He's got a
He's the
real
best. Token Engine is really one of the best digital art collector, in the movement. He has an amazing collection and amazing taste, and I mean, to have the balls and the courage to finance this documentary, just not to sell it. I mean, of course, maybe I mean, like everyone, to promote our own bags, But that was the idea. The idea was really to promote digital art to a bigger audience, and without people with like Token Angel, I mean, if you want things to move, you need people to take risk, and thinking to people that think, forward thinking people, because
absolutely.
I hope I would have had more backup from art funds or other people in the industry, or big names in the movement. But the only one who took a chance was Token Angel, and the French producer who also put his own money. So I mean, for this, they have my full respect. Because not easy. It was really hard to find find the financing, and the director, he had to take a cut on his pay, didn't get the sacrifice his own salary, to put it on the documentary. So I mean, there was a lot of passion involved in this project.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I can't wait to see it, man. And yeah, congrats to, I guess, to Token Angels and the whole sort of punk crew that sort of put this together. I love this
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of
no. Luckily,
indie
everybody, all
approach.
the big names are in the documentary, and I saw it. I was lucky to see it, in a big screen in Paris. Actually, I saw it in a big screen, and that was the best. I loved it.
Yeah, nice. And how do you feel about V1 punks? Out of curiosity.
For me, they part of the same family. They mention they are mentioned in the documentary. For me, they're part of the same the same family, and okay, they were minted on the 9th of June, and so it's engraved in that's in the blockchain. That's the beauty of the blockchain, and now I mean, they call it the official one. I mean, the one that there are. I mean, the one that at the Pompidou, at the Contemporary Art Museum of Miami, are V2s, and all the art funds and the big collectors are collecting the V2, and Matt and John said that the real collection is the V2. But I mean, full respect for the V1s. I mean, they're part of the story. Part of it. I have really a lot of respect for the V1 community and the fans of the V1 CryptoPunks, and I think that the both collection can thrive, and no need to do for infighting, and and no, who are the real ones, the V2, the V2. I mean, it doesn't. bring nothing productive. But I mean, they're on the blockchain. They were minted on the 9th on the night of June. But Curio Card was minted in May, and other things, on other blockchains. Pepe were minted in 2014, other projects in 15. But I mean, I don't know the community. I mean, there was a consensus that the one with real value are the V2s, the one that Matt and John intended to create. If there was not this mistake in the smart contract and in the first time, themselves they say that it's like doing a sketch. If they say that that's the V1 was the sketch and the painting is the V2, I mean, I respect it. I'm okay. My bags are all V2, so I also have a selfish interest in V2 succeeding. But I mean, the V2s all the at the Pompidou, all the art funds are collecting V2s, and but I think that both can thrive. I mean, if the floor of the V2s go for 200 ETH, I mean the floor of the V1 could be at 20 ETH, and like 10% of its value, and that's cool for me. This is why I was a bit disappointed by the V1 community, with all this Yoga Lab and Nina Chanel, story, because they kind of took advantage of the situation to just bash on corporate, calling V2 corporate CryptoPunks, and so I thought that wasn't cool. We should try to more like being more united, and not when something bad happens to CryptoPunks, not try just to sell their own bag, just to for their own having their own agenda. I mean, I thought that was uncool.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about punks right now? I mean, we're going through a bit of a rocky patch given the recent sort of situation with the Yuga announcements around Nina Chanel's Iron residence drop. But what did you make of the whole situation?
Yeah, I thought this 3D super punk world. I thought it was rubbish. I didn't like it. But I didn't say it on Twitter because there was so much infighting, and so many negative tweets. I thought that was really, and I mean, because I really like what Natalie is doing. I thought she's doing a great work. I mean, I was a big fan of the avant-garde, with the posters. So that was great. The book, I mean, free to claim, but okay, you had to pay something, but okay, I mean, it wasn't a big deal to pay $100. I think that was also amazing. But I think, yeah, there was a miscommunication. I mean, the aesthetic was bad. I think if they've done a 500 print, 500, because I mean Nina Chanel is a big artist, and I mean her aesthetic is nice. I mean, what she does is quite nice. So should have been like a 500 print. I think it would have worked out better. But this 3D and 2D collection, I didn't like it at all. But out of respect for people who work so, I mean, what I heard, they worked months and months on it. So I didn't want to, start bashing in them on Twitter. I thought it was like wasn't the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think everybody make mistakes, and we make mistakes. I mean, okay, that was a mistake. So okay, I mean, let's move on, because the punk residence idea is not bad actually. To try to connect the trade art with digital art and CryptoPunk, I find it a good idea. But I mean, that wasn't the wrong artist. That was the wrong concept. I mean, those 3D, 2D. That was it didn't work out at all. I mean, just aesthetically, you just look at them, 3 seconds, and that doesn't work. They should have contacted, I don't know, 15, 20 CryptoPunks, to give their opinion on the project, and right away they have seen that it doesn't work. I mean, technically it didn't work. Should have been a print. But I think you got in a corporation that they have shareholders, so there's always a tricky road for them. I mean, because this it was a drop, it was a Dutch auction, so that was like money involved. They wanted to make money out of it. That was so that I didn't like this. I didn't like this, but I think that they okay, you got a corporation, they have shareholders. So the boards are kind of out of fashion, and it's hard for them to bring money in the company. So, but I like the guy, the Garga. I mean, Greg Solano I think he's a great. I mean, I like the guy. I think he understood CryptoPunks. So I think to separate CryptoPunk from the Bored Ape ecosystem, the Bored Ape is something else. So, I mean, they're trying. I mean, something out of fashion. Now they're trying to make it back in fashion with they should have just kept doing the Ape Fest and make it a lifestyle streetwear fashion brand. But concerning CryptoPunks, I think they should just keep their promise. They made a promise that they would try to put CryptoPunks in every big museum in the world, like the MoMA and other museums. So they should stick to this priority. What they did at Pompidou was like groundbreaking and a game changer. That was huge. That was huge for the acceptance of digital art and of CryptoPunk. I mean, with the MoMA, the Pompidou is the most prestigious museum in the world. So that was huge. So they should focus all their energy on trying to put the CryptoPunk at MoMA and other big museum, and also. And instead of doing doing those collection, I mean, instead of they should focus on the main collection, and they should organize in big institution around the world, in museum and galleries around the world, like in Paris, London, Tokyo, Hong Kong, New York, Montreal, I don't know, Los Angeles. They should do CryptoPunk exhibition around the world so that people around the world admire the CryptoPunk pixel art, and they should focus on this. They should do like international exhibition around the world about CryptoPunk, because they have the money. They have the logistic, so they could rent amazing place around the world and do CryptoPunk exhibition, and invite all art curators and all celebrities, and this is what they should do. But this thing we felt like a money grab, like a cheap money grab, the Dutch auction, and the art was rubbish it looked rubbish as 3D art. Nina Chan is a very talented artist. I like her art. It would have worked as a print. It would have worked. It would have sold out. I didn't know. I don't know if that bring much to CryptoPunks, but I think this punk residency is a good idea. They shouldn't be thrown out at the in the dustbin, but you should just keep it to as print. Make 100 prints and or 200 prints at accessible prices. But did they really focus on putting CryptoPunk at the MoMA and the biggest museum in the world, and organizing CryptoPunk exhibition around the world? Because they have the money to do it. They have the money to do it. I mean, as the little guys, I did so many things, for CryptoPunks. I put my CryptoPunk avatar and CryptoPunk all around the streets of Paris with my own money. I contacted this street art artist called the Mosaïste. Now, since this CryptoPunk project, the guy is selling out. He's doing great, and that was really, and people love the project now. I put my CryptoPunk avatar and other CryptoPunks in all my favorite streets in Paris, And that was something I did by myself, my own money, just because I love the project, and I want digital art to to move forward, to become mainstream. But Yuga Lab, it's so much money. They come with they come with those cheap cash grab. Don't be so selfish. Be work for the community. Try to make money on Bored Ape and with Ape Fest and some streetwear. I don't know what, but they should. I think they should really do. I personally, the two main focus is putting CryptoPunk in all the biggest museum in the world and organizing CryptoPunk exhibition around the world in big institution and with cocktail parties and all. And I think what they should do. That's what I feel.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of what you said probably resonates with a lot of punks. But I could sort of see it from both sides. At the end of the day, whether we like it or not, it is a corporate. They're going to have to find different ways to experiment and monetize.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
know that. The corporation have to make money, but that's not the way. I
yeah,
don't
I
know.
know, I know, I know. So look, I'm not having, not trying to defend, but I feel for Natalie, and I think she's coming from a
Yeah,
good
I think she
place,
really
and
likes the
she's such
project.
a
I think I think she's a good hearted person, and she's really she really like the community, and she really likes the project. I think that I think those collab with Avant-Garde, with those prints, I think that should have been the way. The book also. Okay, I wasn't contacted. Okay, I bought the book. I didn't buy the older book because I think that was very pretentious of me to buy the older book, and I didn't even get contacted to participate. But at least I bought the regular copy. But this thing that was a big that was a mistake. But I think the community should have moved on. That was a mistake, and that's it. Okay, now I feel sad for the floor because now I think to see the floor at 35 is really sad, really sad. But I don't think it's Yuga Labs' fault, it's the market has been on a downtrend for 2 years, and now we'll see, if if today the Ethereum ETF is accepted. I think it could be the start of a new bull market for crypto for sure. And then if people make money in crypto, then they want to buy all those Grail blue chip digital art. So it could be good for CryptoPunk. We'll see.
yeah. Um, I'm quietly comfy in a punk, to be honest. Even if at 30 or 35, whatever it is, to be honest with you, it doesn't sort of really bother me. I've got no intention of selling my punk. And I say that,
I think nobody should sell their. Instead, they're desperate for money. Nobody should sell their punk
yeah,
because
yeah,
good. I think, and it's just the beginning of the story. It's like selling a Jean-Michel Basquiat. You buy a Jean-Michel Basquiat in 1982 and you sell it in 1984 or five. You have to think long term. You really need to have conviction and passion and think long term. It's a, I mean, this is how you make money. I'm not here to make money, but I'm saying, you have to have passion and conviction, and and do things, positive things for the community, and you get rewarded. You get rewarded in 10 years, 15 years.
no, understood. And I guess, Dan, this has been a super fun conversation, and I
Yeah, I
appreciate
loved it,
you.
man. Thanks, Will. Huh? It was really fun talking to you. I loved
Yeah,
it.
coming on, and yeah, no, so I mean, I learned a lot from conversation today about punks as well, and so nice to finally connect. But I guess
Yeah,
one
yeah.
last question before we go, if you could pass on a message to the next owner of your punk 2560, what would you like to say to them?
Nah, never gonna sell 2560. Maybe if one day I'm desperate for money and somebody offer me $50 million, I might. I'm not that crazy. But if I had to pass a message, I would say follow and embrace the cyberpunk blockchain philosophy, of, as I say, I'm going to repeat myself, but, of progress and having a rebel mind and, to think out of the box and, to lean toward progress and, not being attached by, conservative ideas, from your country, from your countrymen, from your background, from your education. Just be open-minded and do good for whatever you do good. Try to help other people out and don't be selfish and just try to make the world a better world and try to promote groundbreaking technology that is blockchain. And if you're into crypto art, just try to embrace it and to make it mainstream.
Well said. Well, Dan, thanks again for jumping on PunkCast. It was lovely to have you on, and
No, it was amazing. Thanks for the invitation. I was a long time I really wanted to do this show, because I'm a big fan, and really thanks for the invitation. And really, I loved speaking to you, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dan. And guys, that wraps up an episode of PunkCast for the week, and we'll be back next week with another amazing punk. Bye for now.